It's okay if you don't know anything about the philosophical side of yoga or its history. Hi, Janelle here with New Standard Yoga and Fitness Center opening up later this year in Caloundra. I wanted to have a little bit of a discussion today about this idea that yoga philosophy is absolutely imperative to really complete a person's yoga journey, especially as a teacher, but as well as a student. This kind of comes back to another topic that I have addressed already, which is just this extremely judgmental side and critical side, and this righteousness that some of us have experienced or are currently experiencing, where we think that our yoga practice is superior or better or more beneficial. I've talked about this before, more deeply rooted in the traditions of yoga than another person's. And for me, this is something that I found to be really important, because I actually had a little bit of shame and a little bit of guilt and a little bit of like a disappointment in myself, because I did not learn a lot of yoga philosophy. In my teacher training, the first teacher training that I did back in 2007, I didn't really learn a lot of philosophy. Maybe it was presented to me, and maybe it was just not something that I retained, because maybe it was boring to me at that point in time. And slowly over the years, as I taught more and more, and I sort of became exposed to different people, different teachers, different styles, I saw that there was, a big following, I guess, and a big group of people that really aligned with the teachings of yoga philosophy. And that made me feel bad that I didn't know. That made me feel like I wasn't informed, like my opinions were not valid. When I then did learn a bit of yoga philosophy more in depth, when I did a Vinyasa teacher training course a couple years ago, it was really exciting, because I thought, I feel like I'm ready now. I feel like I'm willing to learn about some of this stuff, and it's something that I'm interested in. And it was really, really amazing, because as I was learning things, the neatest thing occurred to me, and it was that I have been teaching this stuff in my classes without knowing it. I haven't been using the correct Sanskrit terms and phrases and, the different, I guess, wording that you would use if you knew a lot about yoga philosophy. But at the end of the day, I was teaching the exact same fucking shit, about people not attaching to certain things and trying to work through various psychological phases and stages that you go through when you practice. And I was just using it and teaching it from my own experience, and it didn't have anything to do with what somebody was teaching me from a book or from some ancient scriptures or something like this. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I really did feel bad, at one stage, because I didn't know, and I felt like I wasn't a super experienced teacher. But after then going and learning some of the philosophy and realizing that I'm teaching this, I'm already teaching this stuff, and I don't need to feel bad about it, and it's already come to me in a very natural, organic way, based on my experiences with my own practice, based upon the experience that I've had with seeing other students over the years. And, like I said, I didn't really get into my yoga philosophy until I did a Vinyasa teacher training course. Was about 8 years I'd been teaching for. So besides it being, comforting to me, it also was empowering, because it really showed me that for me and my experience, it wasn't necessary for me to be very familiar with the philosophy of yoga and, like I said, the scriptures and this kind of thing. I think that if it really matters to you, it's important that you learn about it. But I think it all comes down to what you want and what matters to you. And like I said, it was very comforting for me to know that, hey, I'm actually teaching this stuff and I didn't need to learn about it from somebody else. It was something that happened organically over those 8 years of teaching and practicing and just diving into my yoga journey, that I was able to really share and bring forth similar concepts and ideas and different ways that I could encourage people to maybe overcome some psychological hurdles within their practice. And I didn't have to know philosophy to do that. It was just something that happened on my own. Maybe some of you have had that experience. It was really cool for me. Not to say that I don't want to learn more about the philosophy, but it's not something that really pulls me, especially after I was able to realize that, again, a lot of this stuff I was already teaching. And I didn't have to really, dive deep into the philosophy in order for me to grasp the concepts and share those concepts with my students. Would love to hear some comments if any of you guys have had a similar experience or an opposing view. Those are always welcome too. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, New Standard Yoga and Fitness, and you can see the full length of all my videos there. I'll have my Instagram and Facebook business pages up and running along with my website very soon, where I'll share all of this stuff in more length and more detail as well. Thanks so much. See you next week.